Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, friends and foes, and happy Pride Month. I am your host, Too Short to Be Shy, and this is kinda all over the place. And we're in the door with episode 4, and if you're offended by my mere mention of pride, well, you're not for me, and I'm probably not for you. I'm an ally, and I wear that banner proudly. Proudly. I think I just made up a word. I wanted to do something special for Pride Month. So I get into a little history. Stick around for that. As warned, promised, we're going to have the first part of a very interesting conversation I had with my former lover. Get ready for this nonsense. This is a crazy, crazy ride. We'll only be able to get into part 1 this episode, so be sure to tune in for the next 2 episodes to catch the rest of it. You ever wonder about pickles being called pickles, but every other food is more specific that's been pickled? Like pickled onions, pickled eggs, pretty much anything that's pickled. Why are pickles pickles? Why are they not pickled cucumbers? Well, we can't exactly change now, right? Because nobody really thinks about where their food comes from or what's in their food. At least not a lot of people. So if you were to change now, and all of a sudden in the store they just had pickled cucumbers but nothing that just says pickles, you'd have a lot of angry people who are very confused. They'd be like, what's up with the fucking pickled cucumbers? Where's my pickles? So yeah, I guess we can't really do that. But I have to wonder why. Did somebody think it would be gross to call them pickled cucumbers? Or were they just the first thing to ever be pickled and they didn't really think beyond that? That's my guess. Man, gotta think ahead. You really do. Now we're just stuck with pickles instead of pickled cucumbers. Here's the first part of my very interesting conversation with my former lover. Let's get into it. All right, we're here with my latest guest for our great conversation. And we're already laughing because that's who we are. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You're supposed to tell people who you are.
I'm an anonymous.
You can go ahead and tell them the name you just gave me.
I forgot it already.
Van Deffren?
Yeah, Van Zandt. Van Zandt.
Oh, Van Zandt.
I don't know. Maybe Vas Deffrens. Van Zandt. Vas
Maybe
Deffrens.
we should have worked this out before I started recording.
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. Oh, man,
all right. Well, you did warn me that you are in between some meds.
What?
Oh, you rolled up your windows.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're too cold?
No, I'm okay. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to sit here. Well, I was actually thought that I was going to turn the car off. So that's why I opened the windows.
Oh, okay.
I'll roll them up.
It might start raining.
All right, I'll close this. Of course, I'm cutting all of this part out.
Close the fucking escape hatch.
All right. Well, we were sitting in my car with the windows down and everything, but it is sprinkling, and apparently my friend here is afraid he's going to melt if he gets wet. He also is afraid that if he goes into a church, he'll catch on fire. So, maybe if we could somehow combine the two, that would be great.
Yeah.
I should also warn you that he is high as hell right now, but that's his normal state. So
that's the default.
Yes. So, when we met, you were going through kind of a rough period with your mental health.
Oh yeah.
Which got worse the day of our second date when you got fired from your job that same day. Right? Remember that?
I don't know. God, I barely remember. I've been fired from so many.
Oh, well, I'll remind you of that in a minute. Ironically, you said that was the best date you've ever been on. So, you're being part of my film.
The film thing. That's right.
We had,
I remember now.
Right?
Yeah,
and you were the cop that killed himself.
That was down by that electric theater
Yeah.
in a fucking alley or something.
And
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
We're doing like a crime scene, and you're like putting out a bunch of gross stuff that's supposed to be like scalped hair and stuff. And
Okay.
you're like, this is the best date I've ever been on. You looked so happy. But besides that, it was a tough day because you had just gotten fired. And we'll get into why in a minute. But I just kind of wanted to recap the journey you've been on. So a few years after we stopped dating, you had said, maybe it was last year, you said that you believed that your depression was gone because of therapy and I guess the right pills.
It had alleviated completely for about 6 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had also done ketamine.
Yeah.
Ketamine, and then you did some therapy, but now you're having some problems again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just kind of wanted to give the highlights. Do you know where your depression stems from?
Well, I've been diagnosed with CPTSD, so it stems from childhood, the C in the CPTSD is for complex CPTSD, and it's just called that because there isn't really a way to treat something unless you remember what happened. To go through trauma treatment, proper trauma treatment, you have to be familiar with the situation that you went through. And for something that might have happened at a young age, or maybe it's been erased from your memory by, some defensive measure, that's the kind of issue, and what makes it a little more difficult, and why I think a lot of the regular PTSD treatments just don't end up working for it because you don't have a starting point.
Right.
They might figure out it's something different in the future, but that's the name it's got right now.
And you were saying that it might be part of from your childhood?
More than likely. I've taken a lot of psychiatric evaluations, and it's just everything points to this, but there's no situation or incident to look at,
Right.
I don't know. My childhood wasn't super mellow and shit. It was pretty chaotic. My parents were pretty nuts, so it's perfectly within the to imagine that something could have happened. And the thing is, people misinterpret, PTSD in traumatic situations. My parents could have created a situation where if I was young enough and just thought I wasn't safe, that could have just totally threw me into a trauma response at a young age when I didn't know what was going on. And it doesn't so much have to do with the situation as with the way you interpret it. It's not a one-sided thing. It's, there's two components to it. The situation itself and the way you react to it, and we all have similar trauma reactions, but also because of personality, they can be pretty complicated. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, and I don't hold on to that like that is the end all only diagnosis. I look at it like, well, that's the best we can come up with right now, and I used to be against labeling mental health stuff because I just was convinced no one knew what the fuck they were talking about. And then I realized that, you have to have labels in some way to convey what you're talking about to a professional, where if I try to explain how I feel and how my days and weeks are, we gotta sit down for a half an hour at least. But if I just tell you I have CPTSD, immediately the person knows the core problems I'm dealing with: anxiety, panic, extreme depression. So, I don't have to sit there and describe everything to them. So I was kind of wrong trying to find my own path in it and stuff. But yeah, I think you don't necessarily need to embrace the psychology side of it, but it is a way to help keep things organized as far as thoughts and trying to correct things.
Well, would you say that you leaned more on self-medicating?
My entire childhood, absolutely. Yeah, that was wonderful. Everybody needs an escape, and that's usually the first escape people learn about is drugs. But I've never been throw my life away on drugs type. I've always had a job. I've always worked. I've always supported myself, and But drugs, yeah, it was my total escape. You know, I had to be on them 24 hours a day. It was just mainly weed. Had about a 7-year run with methamphetamine and cooking methamphetamine and being in a life I had no business being in. And did a lot of acid when I got out of high school. Mainly just did that because I had a good hookup. If we didn't have a convenient person to get it from, we'd have probably found something else to do. I mean, that's just the way the drugs work. People don't understand. It's just,
Well, that's kind of like with my
it's just
dad.
people are just looking for an escape, you know. And
Right.
it's not necessarily a singular thing. It can be fucking anything. That's what makes it kind of dangerous.
Yeah, when my dad was younger, he was kind of a pothead, but he never actually spent money on pot.
Yeah,
Everybody else
that's a
around him
lot.
always
Yeah.
had it, and you know,
Yeah.
potheads. You
Oh
know,
man, that was
It's
my
always, they're
whole
always
thing when I was
willing to
young.
share.
I was trying to just sell it so I could pay for my own, and that's what I did. Really, it's the only way I was able to afford it all the time. Because I just sell enough to my friends to pay for my own. I don't know. A lot of people do that.
Have you ever felt like the pressure to not get help because you're a man? There was something there.
Oh God, not anymore today. Men aren't really men anymore today. They're more like the hybrid woman. No, they are. I saw
Do you mean
I saw a
that-
70-year-old on TV yesterday selling face cream for bags under your fucking eyes. Men are not men anymore. They're little girls. It's pathetic. But yeah, nowadays, no, you don't feel that at all. There is actually a pressure to go get help, I would say. But see, I've been dealing with this for 30 years. So when it started, yeah, nobody knew what it was. I went to the emergency room, my first panic attack that made me pass out and bust my head open. I went to the emergency room and they thought I was tweaking. You know, the fucking nurses were just like, okay, how many fucking lines did you do tonight? I'm just like, man, go fuck yourself. You know, like I've been there. I'm not there. You know, like it was really frustrating. And I found one doctor that actually gave me good advice. The rest of them were just taking stabs in the dark, which I don't blame them. I mean, you know, they can't know fucking everything, you know. They're not magicians. They're doctors.
It's called practicing medicine.
Yes, and it's called that for a reason because they're not fucking sure what's going to work, and especially with medication, you know, it is taking a shot in the dark. I mean, that's why when people show up to the emergency room and they don't know their medical history, they'll give them ketamine because it's the safest drug. It's there have been the least amount of cases of complications with ketamine. They're tiny,
right?
So that's why they do that, and. Shit, man. It's like a doctor doesn't know exactly what to do. They're doing what they're trained to do. Figure it out. And I think people are just very impatient nowadays too. You know, hurry up and fix this shit. It's I don't know.
So you were saying more recently though that, you know, for 6 months you were doing good. You know, after some therapy.
I started on another medication. That really helped with the depression for about 6 months. And then it just stopped working. And I'm in the middle of trying to wean myself off of it right now. And that's the problem with the medication, you know, is just nobody really has a clear answer for anyone. And you can ask anyone prescribing them and they can draw you little pictures of neurotransmitters and, and things like that. But you know, that's their best guess. Honestly, we just don't know enough yet. And I get frustrated with the medicine because of that. Because it's just like, you know, it's like, why the fuck am I handing this shit out if nobody knows what's going on with it? You know, it's like, just, start taking this. Let's see what happens. It's fucking crazy. I don't know. But that's just the way it is. There's really no way around it, you know, as far as those medications are concerned.
So it's more of a failure of your medication than just some
I don't know.
trigger.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been a trigger too. I have no idea. I had a very childish woman that became my manager, and I just don't put up with that crap.
At that job, are you still working?
No.
Oh, okay. I know that you were excited about that job.
It was cool. I really enjoyed it for like 6 months. Yeah.
And what did she do?
She God, it's so fucking stupid, man. I volunteered to work all through the holidays, you know, because I'm an old dude with grown-up kids, and I'm like, you know, there's a lot of young people here, you know, and I told my manager, just fucking put me down for everything, if you want. I don't care what time. I said, man,
Okay.
it's the holidays, so just fucking let everybody be home. So they had me scheduled for like 2 weeks straight. I didn't care. I was happy about it and was like, fuck, that'll be a good paycheck, Shit, my kids are in Colorado. I'm just going to chill through Christmas. It's just my mom and I sitting here. And so then I don't know, she made a mistake or she got mad at me. I don't know what it was. She's a woman. It's really hard to tell. And she said that she made a mistake, scheduled me for too many hours, but I think she just got mad at me because I was like, we sat down and talked about the schedule. Like, I highly doubt you forgot or you didn't realize something. And I think she was like trying to punish me, to pull some hours off. And I looked at her. I'm like, I'd already started the shift too, 3 days into the shift, and she's trying to change it. And I just looked at her. I said, absolutely not. She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, no, absolutely not. I said, I'm going to work my schedule. I'm already started it. And she goes, well, I need you to take 2 days off. And I said, well, that's too bad. I'm not gonna. I've already been scheduled. I was like, I don't know what you're doing. It's the middle of the fucking Christmas. Everybody's got plans with their family. Why would you do this to me? You don't think this is going to mess my life up? What's your problem, dude? And she was a total asshole. She didn't even acknowledge any of my questions.
Wow.
Told me the reason why she was docking. At the end of the thing, it turned around to, well, the reason why I'm trying to just dock your hours is because I think you're getting upset and angry. And I was like, well, okay, why don't you explain to me how I've been upset and angry? Like, have I been that way with customers? And she just had no answers. All she had was, complaints to me with zero answers. And she wouldn't even talk to me. It was really insulting and disrespectful coming from a fucking child, And so I just left. I went, counted my drawer out, and just walked out. Well, actually, at the end of the meeting, she couldn't handle it. And she did what a lot of women do when they hit a wall, intellectually, they hit a wall, they start crying, to be the victim. And that's exactly what she did. And I don't play that shit. I get the fuck away from women that start crying, because when a woman cries, that means a man's about to go to jail. And so I get the fuck out, dude. And that's in my experience. It's been my life, dude.
My ex-husband was like that.
Yeah. But
cry anytime. Like,
but yeah, it's just
way.
She started crying, and I looked at her and I just said, oh my God, are you kidding me? And I meant that in a sense, like, why the fuck are you a manager? You're barely even an adult.
Right.
You're crying in front of your insubordinate. Are you retarded, bitch? I mean, I couldn't stand this woman. And instantly in that moment, the bitch was dead to me. And I said, I'll come in tomorrow morning. I just counted my drawer out left. I didn't say anything. And they were all puzzled, like, ooh, what happened? Because they're just kids and they're fucking stupid. They all want to be best buddies and shit. But, when it comes to pay, I don't know where the fuck you were raised, but I was raised, don't make fucking money deals with friends, you dumb fuck. So if you're going to be working together, I've been a manager before, and it's a tough tightrope to walk, dude. But it is better to be everyone's friend, but you can't forget to put your fucking foot down and act like a manager when you have to. And if they can't handle that, fuck them. So I just left. I walked home and went back in the next morning, and I just thought, you know what? If there is even an inkling of her acting like a child, I'm out. And that's it. I'm going to give this place one more try. I'd like to have a conversation with her. But if she's going to act like a little baby, I'm not having a conversation with a child, And so I'm sitting there helping a customer. She walks in right behind me and goes, hello, Justin, all nasty about my name. And I was just like, oh, right on. She's in fucking kindergarten, I guess, And I just started counting my drawer out and left. And they both she and her buddy just sat there staring at me like, what is he doing? And I'm just like, you don't even pay attention to how you're treating people, you fucking cocksuckers. No, it's just pathetic. I really have trouble working with women. So I just have a bad history. Women just treat me like garbage most of the time. And they just, the jail thing is very real,
I have to.
It's very real and very scary.
Yes. But it's also scary when guys do it to girls too.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
That does happen.
Oh yeah. But it's been talked about with guys for like 100 fucking years, and no one says a word about girls doing it. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's my problem. My ex-wife accused me falsely of rape, dude, and
wow.
I am in the camp that if you falsely accuse someone of rape because you destroy their name, It doesn't matter if I raped her or not. My name in Colorado is destroyed. It's associated with rape and abuse.
You mean it doesn't matter to other people whether you did it or not? Your name is...
It does not matter. Hey, dude, when I hear it, I'm like, I don't even want to talk to this motherfucker. It's not my job to figure out if he did something wrong. He's been accused. Get the fuck away from me. You might be a woman beater. Fuck you, you know? I mean, you just don't know. And women really take advantage of that. It's kind of sad, you know? And men have traditionally just been fucking dicks, but I don't know. It's, I don't know. You know, everyone's complaining about the fucking birth rate, and I don't know how people can be complaining. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, I don't know. I think it fits with the way the world is going. I mean, we're all taught to hate each other. The Me Too thing basically divided men and women, so they don't trust each other, and they'll never approach each other in public. So that's all gone. You know, I mean, really, we've totally just eaten away at everything that makes us human. You know, at a societal scale, which is really just, fuck, that's terrifying, man. Because we're all just sitting in it, you know?
Right.
I didn't want it like this. I know women didn't want it like this. Fuck, I don't think any of us did.
That's why I started doing a documentary.
It's insane because everybody was led by some fucking shepherd cocksucker. That's what's going on. Look at the Southern Poverty Law Center. You look at feminism. What has feminism done for women? Absolutely nothing, dude.
Oh, I think there's a difference between feminism and feminazis.
No, it's all feminism. You cannot put it into two groups because then you're totally negating what they do. Oh no, it's just the bad feminists. No, it's feminism, dude. I'm sorry. All it did was teach women how to burn their bras and complain. It gave women no avenue to solve a problem. What is feminism solved for women?
But I don't think man-hating is feminism. I'm just saying they're vehicles for bullshit. You know, civil rights, feminism, they have nothing to do with rights. They have to do with... but feminism technically is about women's rights.
Yeah, I know. That's what it says.
Technically.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. And women's rights is a funny thing to me because I'd like to hear a woman explain to me what right she doesn't have that I have. I mean, can you?
I think we have the rights now.
In the 60s, you had the exact same rights. Same rights in the 60s.
Okay, but I'd like to point something out.
Actually, when you got the right to vote, that was the only change. Everything's been the same.
You know that if I was of a certain age, I wouldn't have a right to have a hysterectomy unless my husband signed off on it, whether I had a husband or not.
Yeah.
I would have to go through 10, 15, 20 doctors to find one who actually would do it.
You know, that's that's not nationwide.
No, I don't know about that.
Dude.
I've seen a lot of stories. I'm actually going to...
Well, you live in Utah, so you've got a very bubble view of things. I'm sorry, bud, but if you go to California, that ain't fucking true at all.
Okay, well, I ran across a post that people all over the country were posting on, so it's not just Utah. No. I would love to say it was.
Nah. I'm not saying just Utah. I'm saying it doesn't exist at all. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it doesn't exist at all. If you read it from a post, it doesn't exist to me.
How did we not argue more when we were dating? I must have done a lot of smiling and nodding.
Oh, no. Well, we didn't talk about shit like this. The world wasn't all fucking retarded like this either.
Oh, yeah.
It really wasn't, honestly.
It was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't divided to a point where we will never, ever get back together. This fucking country will never get back together, dude. It's over. Like, civil war is the only way forward from now on. We are so far apart. If you just look at the extreme right, the extreme left, I'm not saying anybody's anything. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying if you just look at how far apart they are, it's never going to come back together, man. It's really sad, but it's over.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's over, you know. I mean, our entire government's fucking children. Nobody gives a shit. That's unreal. I can't get past that. I don't even care about Iran and all this shit, dude. They're all fucking children still, you know?
I don't even know why our national parks are open right now because they're so understaffed. People are it's
pathetic. It's pathetic. They are absolutely throwing our country down the shitter. All of our leaders are. They don't care. They don't care about the national parks. Fuck, they don't care about anything. Look at the roads we drive on. Fucking unbelievable. You know?
Look at what happened last night with that convention.
Yeah, the correspondence dinner.
Yes. Yeah. The first video that went out, even I was like, that looks fake. And a lot of people thought it was
I'm not
fake.
sure I believe anything anymore.
Well, right.
Seriously.
Right. And I don't know if it was faked
I'm starting to feel like Butler was fake. I mean, why isn't there an investigation?
What?
Butler, Pennsylvania? The first assassination attempt?
Oh.
I'm starting to feel like that was fake. Honestly.
God, that's one. Like,
Honestly,
that's pretty risky.
Who is this kid? We've never heard anything about. We know more about Lee Harvey fucking Oswald than a kid that's fucking recently tried to assassinate a president. We know more about Lee Harvey than a kid
because
recently.
back then people had to know the details. Now they just want to. They're okay with anything.
No. I just think it was totally different cover up. Oswald. There was plenty. Dude, look at how many people after his death, dude. They investigated for decades. They found the guy's tracks all through Mexico, all through Russia. I mean, they knew everything this guy did. Thomas Crooks, fuck, no one even knows where the motherfucker did anything. They interviewed a couple school friends, and then that was it. You never saw anything again.
Well, we're getting into some pretty deep territory here.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as like you were, it's hard to believe the correspondence dinner. I'm just saying, I don't think any of it's real anymore.
Well,
that Ruth guy didn't shoot anybody. I mean, I could have just grabbed that fucker out of the sewer. You know what I mean? And been like, oh, look, he tried to shoot the president. I just don't. They've totally betrayed our trust so bad.
Well, that's what my point was, is that
it's just crazy.
Even if it's real, like, people don't believe it's real because they think, they're just looking for attention. And maybe they are just looking for attention.
I know, man. The fuck what people do online for attention. I mean, it makes you fucking wonder, Like, When do you think the American public as a whole lost respect for the presidency? Clinton.
You think so?
Yeah. The sexual shit in the Oval Office and the way it was spoken about openly. I think that was the first gash. Now listen, JFK was probably just as bad, if not worse than Clinton as a womanizer. I swear that dude was probably a straight up sexual predator like I believe Bill Clinton was. I think he was, but it was a different time when people would have kept things quiet, just for the sake of respect of all government. But by the time you got to Bill Clinton, Democrat, Republican Party, they've been embroiled in a war that they don't care if they hurt America, they have to win. And I think that's when that was really got heated, because why would we be knowing that a cigar got shoved up a woman's pussy in the Oval Office? Why would we know that? I mean, honestly, normally back in the 60s, it's been like there was a sexual assault or something that just was a term, would have been applied. Instead, we had graphic fucking detail down to the jizz on a dress. Like, I think there, for me, totally lost respect. Clinton got on TV 3 times and looked us all in the eye and lied to us, man. Like, I think we all just lost it by then. And Bush before, with Reagan, the goddamn CIA stuff with the cocaine, the Iran-Contra. I mean, that was building from then, So when Clinton came along, we already had distrust from that,
I feel bad for Ollie North.
It's horrible. It's horrible. The real people.
Not just because he's a handsome man.
No, dude. The real people never get in trouble. They rolled that motherfucker over the coals. They put him on TV. We were just made to focus on his face, which is disgusting because he was a fucking subordinate dude in it. What is going on? Why are we like screaming at the subordinate who's following orders? The dude's wearing a fucking military uniform. When someone says do this, he says yes, sir. Anyone familiar with the military? Like, it's unreal.
Like,
the
why
guy,
are we even
the poor guy.
to this guy? Like,
it was unreal. It should have been President motherfucking Reagan up there explaining it to us. And where was this cocaine going, Mr. Reagan? What did you do with the tons of cocaine that you got because they ran out of money to buy weapons, so you took cocaine instead? Where'd that go? Where'd that coke go? Did you just throw it in the garbage, or did you sell it to the American people?
It's like Janet Reno was a scapegoat.
Oh, dude, everything is just right out in front of our faces, even more than ever. And you know what? Like, they're putting things out, like the Janet Reno types. It's not even shocking like it was back then. Like, you're like, oh man, this poor dude, check this out. We can clearly see it. Now they're like almost flat out telling us to our faces, yeah, we're scapegoating this motherfucker. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's so disrespectful.
Right.
I have felt disrespected by our entire government for about a decade now. I am just not impressed. Like, I am waiting for people to want to rise up and go make the pedophiles pay. They don't deserve to live. What we aren't a society if you don't protect children, first of all. You aren't a society if you don't protect your children and your elderly, because the elderly are the people that already gave their lives to your society, so take care of them. They earned it.
I'm
The
surprised
children
you can
are going
say
to take
that.
care of the future of your society. Better fucking take care of them. Like, what is going on here? And
I'm surprised you say that about elderly with you taking care of your mom.
yeah, well, dude, we should be
I'm
taking
kidding.
care of them. Absolutely, man.
Well,
Fuck
you
these
know what
fucking...
I'm going through with my dad.
Oh, hey, dude, you know, and it's hard. I mean, can you imagine him being in a home? I can't imagine my mom being in a home.
No.
Fuck that.
Not in Utah.
Dude,
Hell
and
no.
not while I'm able to just live with her and help her.
Exactly.
If it gets medically out of my fucking hands, okay, we got to get professionals. But dude, I don't understand people's selfishness anymore. I'm serious. Like, I know I don't have this spectacular
Other
life.
countries, especially Asian countries, look
Dude,
at us.
they live
And they're like,
3
what?
generations in a home, dude. 3 generations. The middle-aged people always work. The grandparents do all of the watching of the young kids. The young kids all watch the grandparents. It's like, dude,
we're in an
they take care of
individualistic
themselves.
society,
Yeah.
and
We want everyone to fuck off and get out of...
people in Europe and in Asian and even Middle Eastern countries and go, why do you all live together? Why aren't
I'm
you
seeing
kicking
the
your kids
grossness.
out?
I'm seeing how gross that is. And I'm trying to change that with my youngest daughter because I think she wants a family. She's got a great little boyfriend. And I'm trying to instill in her, like, when you have kids, keep them close. Like, you should have a family compound. Like, I'm serious.
If I had money, that's what I'd be doing.
If I had the money too, grandma and grandpa in one house, kids in the next, grandkids in the next, and the generations just roll through there, dude.
My brother
Like, what is wrong with that? You don't ever have to buy a fucking house again. What's going on? You just keep leaving it to your children, and they gain from your hard work. And like, I don't know. It's so... we live in just this bonkers bullshit, man.
My brother,
I mean,
my little brother, I have 5 brothers, as you know.
yeah.
The youngest, his plot of land where his house is, isn't very big.
Yeah.
But he's been working with an architect, and I think they've broken ground now, but they're putting like 2 apartments
That's cool.
on that property for either like my sister-in-law's mom or my dad and me. You know, it's a contingency for whoever needs it.
No, I'm trying to instill that in my daughter, you know, just like, hey, you know, send your kids out into the world, for God's sakes. Let them experience the world, but make it important, you know, make them want to come back. The reason kids don't want to come back is because we all had fucked up dysfunctional homes and we're like, go home? God, fuck you. Why would I help my mom? She was a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like,
I still helped mine.
My mom was nuts to me, and fuck, oh my God, I've lived with her for 6 years now where she's kicked me out of the house like every other year. I'm like walking down the street with a backpack on, just going, why do I even bother with this woman? I should just walk away from her, you know? But if I walk away from her, then she's in a home, this house is on, everything's fucked, you know? So why do I want to let that happen? I mean, goddamn, she worked hard all her life. She's got a few years left here, maybe 10, but who knows, man? I mean, I don't know. And my kids, I want my kids to see that I'm willing to help my mom, not just so they'll help me, but to just kind of show them this is what we need to be doing, dude. You know, we need to not be abandoning each other all over the place, spreading out to the 4 corners of the earth and then struggling to get back when someone needs help. It's insane.
Yeah.
And our government sure has done a good job at putting us in a position to just have them take care of everything if we want to live like that. Fucking retarded, man. Yeah, if you want to live on your own, not help your parents out, fuck it, dude. We'll just put them in a government home. They'll be real well taken care of. Been in one of those motherfuckers in the goddamn aisles just drooling on themselves. It's disgusting, dude. It's disgusting human beings would be treated like that.
There was a video I saw where some guy came along and he was like walking through a neighborhood and some really, really old gentleman was walking around in a t-shirt and a diaper that was full.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, where do you belong? Like, and all of a sudden, what I assume was his grown-ass daughter comes and she's like, you need to, like, learn a lesson. Like, go walk. And he's like, but he came from that direction. Like, shouldn't you be taking him home and changing that diaper at least?
Yeah, man.
And she's like, no, he needs to learn. I'm going to make him walk. Learn. He doesn't even know where the hell he is. Like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, oh my God, my dad has it so good. Like,
I know, man.
I
once in a while, my mom sees some situations. She's like, "Thank God." I know she sees it once in a while. Like, "Oh my God, I'm very lucky," you know. And it's like, I don't know. It's crazy. Life is crazy.
And my dad has so many interesting little habits and fears, and it's like a lot.
Well, dude, he's lived his whole life and got it the way that was comfortable for him. You know, the way we wanted it the best he can. And
but
like,
now he's developing habits, but then forgets why he's creating the habit, and not where the loss at it. So it's like,
sure.
Why are we doing this? Like,
God, guys,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mentioned about that day that you lost your job when it was our second date. Do you remember what happened?
I don't even remember what job it was.
You were working at a warehouse. Okay.
Well, I did work at Walmart warehouse for like a couple years.
Okay, do you remember the guy that you didn't like and was picking on somebody that you did like?
Oh, yeah, that was Walmart then. There was that kid there that was getting everyone fired, and he thought it was funny. And, yeah, I ended up slapping the shit out of him at Walmart. Yeah.
Right, you were off work.
Yeah.
And you ran into him at the store.
Yeah, yeah.
And you slapped the piss out of him in front of his girl.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was his wife and kid. I don't know if I was still done.
Oh, his kid was there?
Yeah, he was.
I didn't know that part. I thought it was hilarious that you just smacked the shit out of him in front of his woman. Like, how embarrassing.
Oh, I don't know. That's his deal. I just wanted to hit the guy. He was fucking just annoying. He needed it.
Some people do.
He needed it. He was a little baby.
Not that I condone violence, but some people do.
Well, this guy was like in his mid-20s, and he was acting like he was 13 years old. And I don't know, man. The world I grew up in, dude, you do that, someone's going to kick the shit out of you, dude, and correct your ass. Like, I don't know. This world's so soft anymore. It's, you know, it's why guys are so girly anymore, man. And no one's smacking the shit out of them like, you know, the rest of us my age, you know, like you were taught to fear authority because of the pain that followed. Not the words, not the discomfort, not the punishment. It's the pain.
Pain.
I mean, shit, I never had to hit either of my girls. Never spanked one of them once.
Because and are they turning out okay?
My youngest is awesome. My oldest has got a lot of damage from the stepdad she had to live with. But no, they're, I don't know. I didn't have to do that. Like, I didn't raise my voice all the time, which was one thing. That makes a huge difference. You know, parents that yell all the time, it just turns into background noise and nothing's serious. Everything is at the same level of seriousness all the time vocally. Where I was very gentle and calm with them because they were girls and I didn't, you know, well, I just knew my role was important, you know, in, you know, making them see men in the right light, you know, like that, you know, making them see what I think an example of a man that they should look for should be. I guess that's what you're doing when you're raising a daughter, you know?
And I do want to say that, I mean, even though, you know, your mental problems and my mental issues at the time, like, kind of was causing some issues between us, and it wasn't healthy that way. You were actually the best boyfriend I've ever had.
Oh, thanks. That's sweet of you.
You're welcome. But you were always helpful and supportive and there for me. And
I try to, man. I try to be what I would like somebody else to be to me. You know, I really learned that. You know, that's what I learned from my first marriage. I don't ever like to say this, but I didn't do a fucking thing wrong, dude. I tried really fucking hard. I was really nice to that woman, dude. I put up with more than most men would.
And I do believe that just based on the person I know.
I did.
You know?
I let it go. I kept looking at the pictures of my kids and I was like, I'm not going to do what my parents did to me. I'm not going to do what my parents did to me. And I just didn't realize that, you know, what my parents did was, it was a good thing because it just gets worse and worse, you know, and it gets worse and worse on the kids. And I think you do end up in that Band-Aid situation. If somebody's not willing to not act like a psycho, you do end up in that Band-Aid situation. You just got to rip that fucker off and get it over with and get the kids out, you know, of that insanity. They don't need to be raised with screaming and yelling. They're going to turn into fucking psychos, man. You know? Like, look at people that grow up in the ghetto. It's not a fucking mistake, dude. It doesn't have to do with poverty. It doesn't have to do with anything. It has to do with giving a shit. That's the bottom line. You give a shit about raising kids or you don't.
Well, I mean, on a whole, I think that, especially black mothers,
They're so fucked. No, they are, dude. They've got such a fucking hill ahead of them.
Well, right,
And
but they
I
also
am
have a
so
backbone. They have a backbone.
I'm so angry at all these civil rights leaders because they haven't done anything for them, dude.
Oh, don't even get me started.
No, I'm serious. They haven't done a fucking thing. I see Al Sharpton on a goddamn news show now. What has that jerk off done his entire life except mooch off the entire black population, promise them everything, and deliver nothing? He is a fucking charlatan. He's not even a Christian. The dude is an animal. I'm serious.
I get the creeps anytime I see him.
Oh, no, because he takes advantage of his people. I think we all sense it. I think that's why we all get creeped out by it, because we're like, dude, you are fucking your people. What have you done for them? Oh, I saved a black woman and gave her a place to stay. Oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. Any of us could do that.
One person?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he did. That African chick, there was a big deal. He flew her over here, and that's, like, been his claim to fame. Like,
somebody from Africa,
he helped,
but
not even an American.
Here.
Not even an American. That's what's crazy. And that's why I look at the like, black communities, the ghettos, the worst of them, and it's like, you motherfuckers are just up here talking about hope and change, and I'm going to do this. And you got like 15 black kids got fucking smoked this weekend in Chicago. What the fucking? Are you kidding me? Like, you're doing something? Really? And you realize that these people, they need, I don't know, someone like Al Sharpton. If there was no racism, he'd have no job. So, I mean, I guess there's that. I don't know. Yeah. But they really... they got screwed by their own people pretending to be leaders. They can just do this is America. You think for yourself, dude. You don't need someone to lead you.
Well, as you can see, my friend here is very opinionated and he's just getting started. So be sure to tune in for the rest of the conversation. And now, a little bit about Pride history. Picture it, New York City, 1969. The tensions were high between law enforcement and the LGBT community. Queer folk were being subjected to myriad attacks in the form of jail, lobotomizations, and even murder, among other injustices and indignities. The fight against those attacks and fight for gay rights had been going on for decades through various groups struggling to gain ground but fighting the good fight. The fight to be treated as human was an uphill battle fought by many brave people who risked everything to chip away at a system of mistreatment and create change. Arguably, June 29th, 1969, was a huge catalyst for change when a revolution turned the tides. Perhaps you've heard of the Stonewall, a gay bar in New York City. Perhaps you're too young to know of its importance in the LGBTQ history. Either way, I'm here to tell you that an event took place that day at that bar that changed everything. The time for passivity was no more. I first heard of the Stonewall in a piece on the radio about transgender people and how they were responsible for starting Pride, but felt other queer folk forgot that or didn't want to admit it. I'm not here to debate those thoughts or take sides. Raids on the bar were conducted frequently, mostly targeting those who cross-dressed. And it was that group that started fighting back first, throwing a now infamous brick at police, which led to rioting. Sylvia Rivera, a Puerto Rican and Venezuelan trans woman from New York City, who was a civil rights activist involved in Black and Latino liberation, as well as LGBTQ rights, participated in the Stonewall riots in 1969. She is worth looking up and learning more about. Without a doubt, trans folks were very instrumental in gaining ground in the fight for gay rights. So I can see where they might feel some type of way if others under the alphabet banner don't give them due credit. Regardless of who deserves the credit, The stone wall, which still stands today, is a cornerstone in history. I encourage everyone listening to do more research on it, as well as the oppressive laws and regulations that led up to the revolution and eventually Pride. There is so much to learn, and as they say, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. I'd say we are slipping back into the dark days that the LGBTQ community had to endure. But it seems more like a hop, skip, and a jump back there. The alphabet community, especially the trans population, is under attack from so many angles. Medical help and interventions denied, not allowing minors to get the gender-affirming care they need. And soon, a man simply wearing a blouse will probably land in jail. Ironically, you can find old videos of military men putting on drag shows for entertainment. I hope none of them seem to like it too much. The number of trans folks, especially children, unaliving themselves will skyrocket. As an ally, that really worries and sickens me. So remember that while yesterday's fight and its heroes made progress, that the ground is not just shaky, but crumbling beneath us. How do we stop it? There is a saying that comes to mind. Instead of praying for the storm to pass, learn to play in the rain. Well, folks, that's all we have for this episode. Guess we're out the door with episode 4. Love, peace, happiness. Go get it. Go get it all. Live your life the way that you want to live it. Don't worry about what other people think. As long as you're not hurting others, you do you. Take care, folks. This is kind of all over the place, and I'm your host, Too Short to Be Shy. Out.